Bitcoin is trading below 92,000. Fascinating to see this, right? So if we look at Bitcoin here,
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, let's discuss these topics and more.
yesterday, NVIDIA did break down and confirm below this upsloping trend line. Here we closed below, never confirmed, pushed back up. Here we did confirm. If it comes down today, key level of support will be around $31.70 to $132, so $131.70 to $132. If it breaks this, the floodgates open for a move all the way down to about 108 to 110, all the way down here. All right, Bitcoin. Let's talk Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trading below 92,000. Fascinating to see this, right? So if we look at Bitcoin here, you can see it is pulling back nicely here. Again, kind of pushed up to the 2,000 or the 100,000 marker. We got right up to that level, and it tried. It tried for basically 3 days. It tried Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when it hadn't broken through by Monday, investors began to get nervous, and then you're starting to see the mass exodus. This is human psychology 101, which is really what charts are telling us. So charts, again, it couldn't break. People got nervous. They started to dump. Now what it's trying to do is wipe out all those people that were buying it at 99 and flush them down. One of the things to keep an eye on here is you do have technical support around 90 to 91,000. If you look at this consolidation zone right in here, see how we went. We look at this: surge, consolidation, surge, consolidation, surge, retrace right in here. That should be some support right there. Now, whether or not that's the catalyst for a run over 100K, I don't know. But ultimately, we want to see, does this level hold? If it holds, you favor a move to 100. Really, I said it yesterday, 107,000, 106,000, 108,000, somewhere in that vicinity. But ultimately, this level must hold for that to be valid. Otherwise, you start cascading. Think about it like a stepping stone, right? Or like building a wall. So you went up here, you built a wall. This is now support, right? So if we just kind of do this all sideways, this is now support. You went up here, you built a wall. Now this is support, right? So again, as it comes down, it has to break through this wall to continue down. If it does, it goes here. Now this, to me, remember the 74, 75,000 level, if that gets back there, that's where I buy in heavily on Bitcoin, because that's what I call the scene of the crime. It's where you have a breakout, right? So here's your chart. Chart's coming up, it hits, pulls back, it breaks out. Eventually, what it comes down to is coming back to that former high pivot, which is the scene of the crime breakout level. And that's usually your springboard for more upside. So I still think Bitcoin, again, gets to at least 107,000 or so based on that bigger parallel channel I showed in yesterday's game plan. But again, the key is going to be, do we retrace to the scene of the crime first, or do we hold this, go to 107 first, then come back in? Either way, call me crazy, people always do. I think we come back to 75 at some point. Whether we go to 107 first or not, I don't know. But eventually, eventually 75, 74,000. Again, that'll be a major opportunity on Bitcoin should it come to that level. Now, you might be saying, what would the catalyst be for Bitcoin to go back to 74, 75,000? It doesn't even have to be Bitcoin related. It could be Bitcoin related. Like, let's say right now everyone's pricing in that Donald Trump is going to be the best thing for crypto. What if he just takes longer to enact any of these policies? That could be a negative. People now are saying, I'm hearing it more and more in the crypto community, he's going to be, buying Bitcoin for the reserve. I talked about this yesterday in a spaces I did on X, and I said, listen, every president wants, especially Donald Trump, has said he wants to maintain the dollar as the reserve currency. The second the U.S. starts saying, hey, we're going to put Bitcoin as a reserve currency, it's going to make other countries question whether or not they believe in the dollar if the U.S. doesn't even believe in the sole reserve currency, the dollar. And ultimately, that's a very slippery slope for a country to do. Not to say it's not the right thing to do, it's just a very tricky scenario. So you have those type of things out there. The other factor, again, and I've said this all along, is the biggest risk to Bitcoin is risk off, which would be a stock market drop. So if you drop 20, 30, 40% on the S&P or the NASDAQ, where is Bitcoin at that point? We know it generally moves with the stock market since, again, stock market's at all-time highs, Bitcoin's at all-time highs. Vice versa, 2022 was a rough year for Bitcoin. It was a rough year for stocks. So you have to look at these little factors on the charts.
Bitcoin's price dip to $92.5 thousand sparks debate over market direction as leveraged positions persist. Bulls must defend key levels to avoid deeper corrections while traders eye another run toward $100,000. BTC bounced slightly after a $5,000 drop, reaching $92.6 thousand on November 26. Despite liquidations, high leverage persists, increasing market risk. Losing $92,000, $92.5 thousand could lead to broader market sell-offs, analysts warn. Bulls need manageable funding rates to push toward $100,000. Current pullback mirrors past cycles, hinting at a potential rebound. While Bitcoin battles pivotal support, traders remain cautious amid elevated leverage, balancing risks and opportunities in its march toward $100,000. Bitcoin's surge near $100,000 has sparked debates on whether now is the right time to invest. Analysts highlight potential long-term gains despite market hesitation and increasing corporate adoption. Despite current high prices, Bitcoin remains an attractive asset for investors seeking long-term growth in the evolving digital economy.
Let's go back to the charts here. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is getting a little bit of a bounce on the day. This is very normal when you get a major $100 drop on gold. You tend to get small bounces by the dippers, as we call them. The question is the trend now down? I would dare say the trend short term is down. High, low, lower, low, right there. So again, you now went from higher highs and higher lows to making lower highs and lower lows. So that to me short term tells me the trend on gold is lower until we start making higher highs again. If that changes, then it flips the trend again. But right now, the trend on gold is down. Still have a lot of support around 25.50 here, but eventually I actually think it's going to go lower. I could see us going back to 25 to 2400. That's kind of my low end risk on the downside, and I probably would be buying pretty heavily there. Natural gas, let's take a look at nat gas today, inching up just a little bit here. Again, we had the great trade on nat gas right off this the other day. Took profits right down here, so that was a great little trade on that. Now, if it pushes up, I would reshort it, but it has to pierce 365 at minimum before I play ball with that. Just quickly touching on silver, I know there's a lot of silver bugs out there. Silver, again, continues to be at resistance and being pushed back down. I still actually have a downside target around 28 or so on silver. I'd be a buyer at that level. Lastly, U.S. oil, which has kind of been the dud of the commodity zone lately, which usually is that's very unusual. Usually oil tends to move decently, but it really has just been consolidating. Again, I've talked about this every day. The only thing I'm paying attention to is this level at 75, that's resistance per barrel, and then 65 technical support. So which one do we break? We're going to just watch and figure it out.
The U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency has halted imports of certain Antminer ASICs produced by Bitmain. The idea of Bitcoin as a medium of exchange was at the center of its creation, eliminating the need for third parties for transacting. Discussions on social media now recall how Andreas Antonopoulos, a big Bitcoin proponent, used it to promote Bitcoin back in the day. But is it still relevant today? Iran's central bank signals the imminent launch of the digital rial, a central bank digital currency, CBDC, to streamline payments and bolster international financial integration despite sanctions. The UK government is urged to create a Bitcoin reserve as Trump's pro-crypto policies drive global competition in the race for digital economic dominance. Asset managers have weighed in on Trump's proposed U.S. Bitcoin reserve, reflecting divisions over digital assets in national economic strategy. Global asset manager WisdomTree has filed for an XRP ETF in Delaware, marking a potential breakthrough amid regulatory shifts. Michael Saylor advocates for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, highlighting its potential transformative impact through historic U.S. investments, such as Manhattan and Californian acquisitions. Bitcoin took a tumble today, hitting an intraday low of $92,584 per coin, a noticeable drop from its earlier perch at $98,000. Ripple advances tokenized finance with the first money market fund on XRP Ledger, redefining efficiency in real-world asset tokenization and institutional DeFi. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to BitcoinZella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.